Union, right? Then we're seeing another thing is, while small businesses are closing down, we see the multinational corporations having record profits. How did that happen, right? And where did we see that happen before? This concentration of wealth on few hands. This was the Soviet Union as well. What they want to do is control you. They want to give you out a handout. They want to give you out oh, you can't pay the electricity bill this winter. They'll give you a little check. When we see that happen as well, Soviet Union, right? That's what they want to do. They want to create Bolshevism 2.0. I want freedom. What do you want? I don't want to have any of this. Then, in order to get away with it, they want to convince you that the world is poor, that there's not enough, that if you have some fancy food to eat, then someone else will not be able to. They want to tell you that the world is not rich. It's not true. The world is incredibly abundant. If you look at how much people had to work 150 years ago to buy a piece of a bread or half a kilo of meat, until today, the world is so abundant. We have to work much to be able to afford what our ancestors had to work several hours for, maybe a whole day. The world is really wealthy. There's enough for everybody. We don't need some technocrats to decide whatever we can eat, what we can do, what we should do. We don't need the Bill Gates of this world, and the Klaus Schwab of this world, and those families. We don't need them to own everything. We can own everything. So, what I see is happening right now, there is this war where we on one hand are saying the vaccines are very dangerous, and there is a plethora of evidence and facts now coming through. All evidence is there. The whole corona narrative, the official one, is collapsing, but they're still fighting quite hard against us, right? And when it gets too hard for them, then they start a war in Ukraine, right? Yeah? And then they start now with the energy prices, and I think I see that as a good sign. I see that as a sign that they are losing. Yeah, because what they're doing is they're telling you they want you to be afraid. They're saying, look what we can do. We can hike your electricity prices. We can hike your oil price, so you can't afford to heat your house. Look what we can do to you if you don't accept the social credit score. If you don't do what we're telling you, we will take away your energy. We will hike your food prices so you can't eat. These are empty threats. They can't do it. They're not able to do it. We will stop them. So, there is something I would like to see now. That is that we all, in each of our countries right now, we demand a solution, an economic solution that benefits all humanity. And I have an idea, which is basically that we introduce, in order to afford these heating prices that are going up, we introduce a taxation on transfers of money. And that money is going only to lower the energy prices. This is very interesting because if you transfer €1,000 and we take 0.1%, that's only €1. You won't feel it. But the multinational corporations, who at the moment have record profits, when they transfer 10 billion, it'll cost them 10 million. This will be the first time in history we tax the multinational corporations. We human beings, we are paying 80% tax, income tax, VAT, car tax, any license, tax, we pay all these taxes, and they don't pay any tax. In fact, they go and get tax deals. They go to your government and say, we will come to you, we are a multinational corporation, we will come to you if we have free rent and free electricity, and our management who are making maybe €1 million a year, they will only pay €20,000 flat tax. Is that okay? And our corrupt governments, they say yes, while the people who are paying their salaries are paying 80%. Is that fair? We can change that. What we need to do is to change the tax system away from taxing human beings of flesh and blood, with a beating heart, that feel empathy of other people. We need to change that into taxing the dead corporations that are psychopaths by definition. And a corporation cannot have a heart. They have no feelings whatsoever. Why would we want to live in a world where they pay 0% tax and we pay 80% tax? This is a Trojan horse. To start with a 0.1% transfer tax is a Trojan horse. This will be this thing that makes human beings realize that the world is abundant. There's plenty for everybody. The reason that everybody is suffering is by design. It's because all the economic wealth are being sucked out in their attempt for the so-called Great Reset, where you will own nothing and they will be happy, right? This is what they're trying to do. They want to suck it all out. So I think what we should do is now, we should talk to all our politicians about coming through with a taxation on the multinational corporations by doing it with a transfer tax on money. This is something that I think we should try to do now, because that would wake people up and see solutions. We don't need to have this poor winter or anything. We don't need it at all. So thanks a lot for a chance to talk to you today, and I wish you all good luck with fighting the global beast system. Thanks a lot, guys.